It's a bear today. Good morning. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Did you expect me to say anything else? Oh, look at that, man. They look like cotton balls in the sky today. It's I don't even know what the temperature is. I'll take a look in a moment. Must be, God, it looks like a beautiful day. A little bit of surf out there, but kind of choppy. Not good enough to get any rides, I think. Well, let's take a look at some spot prices here and talk about a few things. Got an interesting video for you today. Let me look at the temperature real quick, though. Hang on a second here. What is it? 68 degrees. Isn't that lovely out there? Like I said, the only people out in sub 72 is Canadians and Northeasterns. People from the Northeast here. You won't see any Floridians out in bathing suits in 68 degrees. In fact, they're walking around wearing winter parkers and boots. So. And that's the truth, trust me on this. It's kind of funny. Native Floridians, my nephew, for example, in the summertime wears a wool cap, long pants, and a flannel shirt. Go figure. He was born down here. I guess your blood thins out or something. Well, anyways, we're here to talk about precious metals and other stuff. I got a decent topic today about certified U.S. gold coins, certified bullion coins. Are certified coins worth the money? And should you buy certified U.S. gold coins? Well, I'm going to discuss that. I'm going to tell you what I know as my experience doing this since 1977 and understanding, besides understanding the bullion market, I am a rare coin dealer as well. So I understand that market just as well, and the certification market and the grading market and all that stuff. So we'll get to that here a little bit in the show, and I'll talk about that. A couple other things we want to cover too, gold prices, what's going on. This was kind of interesting because it brings up the meme that I'm going to show you next. Is when we shift our perception, our experience changes. This is a quote by the famous bionic woman, Lindsay Wagner. I know, Lindsay Wagner, go figure. But you know, I saw that. I said it's kind of very true. Perception really is all about reality. Everyone's perception is what reality is. Does it make it fact? I don't know. Truth? I don't know. But perceptions do change, and we got a good example of that here. Let me show you, and we're going to move over here and to my little meme. And I saw this at first, and I laughed. I said, well, laughed in a way that I was laughing at the cryptocurrencies and stuff, because I was thinking about, well, yeah, that's if you believe anything enough, it's true. But really, the fact is that perception is about everything. I mean, we perceive the U.S. dollar to be money. We perceive, and what is the dollar really? It's a piece of paper. And unlike cryptos, it doesn't, it's unlimited. They can print an unlimited supplies. So the perception of dollar as money, it's really, and that perception is truth. What makes a dollar money? The belief in it. That's what makes the dollar money, is the U.S. dollar money, the belief in it, all right? That's what makes cryptocurrencies and bitcoins, I won't say they're money, but value. That's what gives crypto value, is the perception, the belief that they are. Just like this meme right here. They're bit beans and they're worth a cow if you believe they are. That's perception, folks. And you know what? Gold and silver has that same thing too. What makes gold and silver money? The perception, the belief that it's money, the belief that it has value. That's what makes gold and silver money. So all of this stuff, from the U.S. dollar to cryptos to gold and silver to your homes to your car, whatever, the belief, the perception that it has value is what makes it worth something, okay? Just the mere belief. That's why there's a lot of things out there that have no value, like rocks, because we perceive rocks have no value, and they're plentiful. That's probably why. Rarity has a lot to do with the belief in value as well. And if you notice, collectors, rare art, a Mona Lisa, one of a kind. Why is it so much money? It's rarity, and it's perceived as having value as well. But it's been, that's been a long time too. What's the difference between, a dollar bills, and what's the difference between cryptos, and what's the difference between gold? If this is the case, if everything, every form of money and every form of an asset has to have perceived value, okay? What's the difference between all these things? I mean, at some point, what's the difference between me picking up a rock and saying this has value? You know what I mean? I perceive it has value, and I believe it does. Well, I guess you have to truly believe it does, and that's the cross. That's when you walk over the line. When in your head, it has value. It doesn't become a belief. It becomes a fact at that point, an opinion in your mind. But What is the difference between, again, I've said this 3 times already, but the difference between cryptos and fiat US dollars or euros or whatever, and gold and silver, what is the primary difference between these 3? You have to believe each one of them has value. That's perception, opinion, okay? But what is the big difference between the 3? Well, I'll tell you what the big difference is. Gold and silver has had perceived value for 5,000 years. It has survived every other item that has perceived value, maybe other than land and real estate, okay? So next to land and real estate, I would say gold and silver has the longest perceived value of any asset in history of humankind, of mankind, period. And I challenge you to think of some others, all right? And I put them in the comments section if you can think of others besides land and property, land, and gold and silver, as far as having value over 5,000 years. I think even the first caveman claimed his own little cave there, and that was the first house, the first part of land, and it had perceived value, okay? But like I said, so does gold and silver. When it comes to euros and dollars, they seem to have temporary perceived value, and the perceived value that we all understand is that eventually they will go away. However, we know that gold and silver is not going to go away. We know that it has a track record of perceived value greater, other than maybe land, greater than any other asset in history. No asset can make that claim, like I said, other than land, all right? So it's all about perceived value, and if you're going to understand that, this is true. People believe that Bitcoin is worth money, all right? Just like people believe gold is worth money or the dollar is worth money. It's perceived value. However, if you're going to go with perceived value, what do you want? You want a track record. You want something that's had perceived value for decades and hundreds of years and thousands of years, not something that has had perceived value for 12 years like cryptos or since 1972 we've been on a fiat standard US dollar, so 30, what is it, I don't know how many years since 40 years or something like that, 40 plus years, the US dollar has been perceived as value, but we know it's going to go away. So, and what remains as a constant? Again, land, gold, and silver. And platinum, of course, too. Well, this is my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I like disagreement also. If you're one of the viewers out there and listeners viewers, whatever you want to call these videos, and you disagree with me, civilly put it down in the comments section. Or if you think I'm missing something or off the mark, I'm learning from you folks as well. I learn every day as well. What is my expertise? Well, my expertise, I've been buying and selling gold and silver bars and coins, bullion, since 1977. Started working for my father, went through that first 79 market, so I have good experience in this. Second generation. I'm also a rare coin dealer as well, rare paper money, and we do estate stuff too, watches, jewelry. I have another business that does that. But I have an expertise in precious metals, physical precious metals on the retail and the wholesale side. I know this better than most people, and this is why I'm talking about perceived value, and this is why I'm going to go into what good deals are, and about certified coins, and about this kind of stuff. I started to digress there. I forget where I was going with this. Let's take a look at markets here, though. Ready? 1804. I'm going to do a refresh here because I haven't done it in a few minutes. Get this one started. 1802. There's a high, 1808, which I believe is our 200-day moving average, or was or is. I'm not quite sure. But, for all intents and purposes, we're hanging right in that area. Gold is looking really good. I think gold is the leader in all 3 precious metals. It wants to take off. However, I do believe it's being subdued by big commercial banks or someone that's trying to fill a silver position, but that's my conspiracy. Everyone has one, I guess. However, let's take a look at the low here, 1796. So, man, it's sitting right in that 1800 range. They tried their best to knock it down. They did temporarily, but what I've been seeing the last month or so, it just kind of snaps back like a rubber band and jumps back to where it was. So I had confidence that we weren't going to see 1750, 1700. Does it mean we won't and we couldn't? No, it doesn't. But, I think if this market implodes in one pin prick, metals get trashed along with everything else out there. But that doesn't look like it's happening. I think the Wall Street and the presidential plunge team, or the plunge protection team has learned their lesson from 2008 that they need to slowly let the air out of the balloon, not let it implode all at once. And I think they're doing their best at that. But at some point, I think we're going to see an implosion. That's just my opinion. I just feel it. It'll overwhelm them. They won't be able to prop up the equities markets like they have been, to slowly let this market, the air out of the market. Well, again, my opinion, lots of opinions here. That's perception, isn't it? Low at 22.43 on silver, high at 23.05. We're currently sitting at 22.74. Up a quarter from that low, and again, same thing we've been seeing with silver for a while and gold. We see them monkey hammer it down. I think it's the commercial banks out there, maybe both trying to get their position back. But no less, it's only happening for a little bit, then it rubber bands right straight back up. And silver's looking good right now. Great opportunity to buy last week and this week, I still think. Surprisingly, I haven't seen a lot of physical buyers. I think the retail folks out there are kind of just sitting back wondering where we're going from here. And I notice that with retail people. When gold and silver makes a quick move upwards or a quick move downwards, a vast majority of gold and silver buyers, stackers, kind of don't do anything. They wait till it kind of, and I can't blame them, because is it going to explode upwards? Is it going to explode downwards? I mean, implode downwards? They're not sure. But, you know, my opinion, again, just my opinion, just buy these frickin' dips. You're not going to go wrong if you're in the position to buy. If not, wait them out, relax, don't worry. We're in a bull market here. And again, the bull markets we're in, precious metals bull markets move like snails, all right? And then all of a sudden, they just sprint off the line, you know, and that's what happens. When precious metals start sprinting, you got to look out for a bubble or a potential bubble. However, I thought that back in 2012, and I'm starting to realize that precious metal prices probably only imploded because of manipulative, illegal behavior by, in my opinion, probably Deutsche Bank. You've got all these banks that get caught manipulating the price of gold and silver, and especially JP in 2012. I think they're the ones that brought down the gold and silver markets and made $1 billion doing it, all right? Again, that's my opinion, and they're still benefiting from that today. And will they go to jail or ever get fined? They did get fined, almost $1 billion for doing it. I think $987 million. Meanwhile, they sit on this huge position that I believe that they just screwed BOFA with. That is an evil company, in my opinion, folks. Well, let me move on here. 1,031.71, 1,019 low, 1,048 high. Platinum's hanging on to that $1,000 mark, so that's kind of looking good. Again, I think all these metals are a great opportunity to buy if you haven't. And if you're a little nervous when you see these down prices, relax. Just know that it's an opportunity for your fellow stackers to just put more money into silver, which is good for you. The more people buy out there, the more people take silver and gold off the market in retail hands and in the hands of whoever. All right, the more physical that's taken off the market, the better. And I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. Let's take a look at the 24-hour charts here and see what we're doing. And of course, wow, take a look at that. Gold action primarily happening, and look, there's your New York line. Gold kind of up overnight, mostly up in the evening markets and this morning as well. And then bang, kind of banged, and look right there. There you go. There's your banging right there. Starting there, there's your COMEX markets. However, I'm expecting to see this little rubber band effect right here. I think we're going to see this snap back up, and then I think we're going to see prices drift upwards here this week maybe. Again, drift upwards mostly. Again, unless the market implodes. I got to stop saying again. Unless the market implodes. I believe we're going to see gold markets kind of drift upwards slowly here. We're going to go above that 1,800 mark or kind of stay around this. I don't know if we're going to see any big action to the upside, but again, you never know. This is simply a speculation on my part, all right? I don't have a crystal ball. No one does. Take a look at silver, same thing. Guess where it got, no one's getting too drunk today. I've only said the M word a couple times. All right, Chris, here you go, monkey hammered. There's only a few drinks today, like I said. There's where they got M hammered here again. $23 down to $23.6. Look, that's in the New York markets. But again, I kind of feel that we're going to see a rubber band effect here today or this afternoon. It'll drift slowly back up. We're going to see, or maybe tomorrow. Tough to say, but it looks like most of the damage is happening in the silver markets. Of course, my speculation is that that the powers that want silver to, that have to fill these short positions and that want silver to go down, the powers that want silver to go down know that in order to do that, they probably have to drive the price of gold down as well. Maybe my conspiracy is just too wide and large here, but it's hard not to believe that this is the case, given the fact that we know that they have been manipulating markets for years. They get away with it. They're too big to fail, too big to jail. They get a slap on the wrist. And again, how do we know this? Well, they've been fined for doing this. These big companies, especially JP, have been fined for manipulating the price of gold and silver. We know what happens. There's no backing out of that rabbit hole. In fact, it's not even a rabbit hole now. It's exposed for everyone to see. So my thoughts that these prices are being manipulated heavily right now are the same thoughts of people that are far smarter than I am, that understand this manipulation even better than I do. Let's move into what we're going to talk about today. I want to take a look at equities markets real quick. Oh, yeah, if you guessed, I was looking at that stock, and as you know, I am not a stock guy. I know nothing about stocks. In fact, I'm ignorant, but I've been putting together my own little list of holdings and stuff. And here, you can freeze the screen if you like. I'll show you what I've been looking at. This is not, by the way, if you follow my advice here, you'll probably grow. And a lot of these stocks I wouldn't even buy. I just get them up here just because I want to look at them. But I'll take a look, and I'll slowly pan down the screen if you want to pause your screen and look at what, again, in a field I'm totally ignorant in. So I'm looking at some of these stocks I'm considering buying, but not all of them. There's some stocks that I put in the technology category. Again, if you want to take a look, just freeze it right here. My social media, shipping, my retail stocks, I guess I call those retail stocks. Miners and stuff, even though A-Mark's not a miner, I thought A-Mark was an interesting stock to put in there. They're the owners of Silvertown and some other companies, man. I didn't really realize that they're as big as they are. And take a look at that, expensive stock too. Health and death stocks, there's a stock I definitely think I'm going to buy just as a long-term hold. It looks like it holds its own. Of course, everyone has to die. Nobody gets out of this movie alive, folks. And food stocks and energy stocks. For those of you that are getting bored because you don't want to talk about stocks, sorry about that, but some of you out there did ask me to kind of show what I'm looking at and my thoughts, and here they are. Transportation auto. I think if someone gave me this stock right here to put in here, I just recently stuck Lucid in there because they're new in the electric car industry. But there you go. There's my thoughts on stocks and bonds. I'm gonna when silver and gold. Here's my plan. Right, I'm gonna give you my evil plan of world domination. When silver and gold do hit their bubble, I'm going to sell off a portion of my silver and gold. I'm thinking possibly, I don't know though, that stocks and bonds. When gold and silver is hitting their stride and they're actually at bubble territory, stocks and bonds hopefully will be at their bottom. So might be land or something like that. That's when I'll sell part of my gold and silver, not all of it, but I'll sell part of it and start putting it into the hemorrhaging stock and bond market and maybe the land market. But again, that's highly speculative on my part, and that's my plan for world domination, folks. Let me move out of here real quick. Hey, by the way, I talk about monkey hammering all the time, and there's your other drink there. But if you get sick of seeing it, and you're sick and tired of watching it, and you understand how it's done through these big commercial shorts on the COMEX markets, and how that over the years all they've done is short these markets only to screw the longs, the managed money longs. I mean, Ted Butler talks about this. I encourage you to call the CFTC. There's their phone numbers. Where's their complaint? Customer protection. File a complaint. There you go. There's the complaint, customer protection. File a complaint. Just call up and complain. Say, are you guys ever going to do, shake their tree a little bit, but again, be polite. Don't be a jerk. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't help calling them up and yelling at them or saying, don't you understand? And also, if you call them, make sure, and I recommend you call them once a week. Let's keep the heat on these people, folks, and put the word out there. Call once a week. Be polite. It's not illegal to do. You don't even have to leave your name. You can call anonymous. Just let them know that we're watching them and we're sick and tired of seeing this kind of behavior, and that it is their job to not let this happen. This is the CFTC, of course, right up here, the commodity futures trading. And the fact that they haven't done anything, again, makes me wonder if they're complicit or they're ignorant. I think it's a little bit of both, maybe, but tough to say. Keep calling. There's your number right there. Here, I'll blow it up. There's your number. Call them up and just complain, man. Tell them you're sick of this. When are they going to stop letting these large commercial short positions screw all the little guys out there and the miners and everyone else that relies on this stuff? Who else can you call? You can call the people that run that crooked. Ooh, we're going to get into our other article here. You can call there it is right there. File a complaint. There's Comex right there, the CME group. There's the people, there's the crooks that run the casino. Again, I'm calling them crooks. That's my opinion, and probably yours too. But there's the crooks that run that casino. Crooked casino, the people that run that crooked casino, give them a call. Tell them you're sick of it. You're a silver investor, gold investor. You've been doing this for years, mostly silver. Tell them, and you're tired of seeing the big commercial shorts hammering silver prices down. You can use my M word too. But be polite, be polite. You don't even have to leave your name again. Same thing, it's not illegal, but just don't harass them and be mean or nasty or anything like that. Call them up and let them know that you're watching and you're sick of this behavior. And I'm telling you, man, they keep getting the heat on them. They keep getting their trees shaken by calls. They'll get the point. That's the one thing that people haven't done, is we haven't bombarded them with phone calls. We haven't bombarded them with complaints, all right? That needs to happen. If you're a talking head in precious metals and you're watching my video, I didn't tell you to encourage your peeps to do the same thing. But make sure that when you call these people that you're not just throwing wild conspiracies out there. Talk about these commercial shorts. If you're not familiar with what's going on, watch some of my videos or go read Ted Butler. And I highly recommend you read Ted Butler if you're talking about silver. Read about what he says, how it's done, and then repeat that to them, okay? They'll get the point. All right, we're into graded coins. We're going to talk about graded certified grading coins, PCGS, NGC, the two big major ones out there, and what my opinion is as a numismatic guy and a bullion guy. I'm going to take a sip of coffee here real quick. I'm going to go with SD Bullion because they've got the stuff out there, and JM because they're popular and everybody knows who they are. I went to their graded American Gold Eagle coins, and I guess they have US gold coins as well. But I'll use one example on one and the other on the other. As you know, I advertise to beat APMEX, JM, and SD Bullion on reasonably priced bullion products. When I say reasonably priced, I don't mean overpriced stuff like this. And I'm sorry, I'm not digging on them. I'm just saying I wouldn't sell you this stuff as bullion at all. And I wouldn't sell you the other stuff as bullion either. So listen to my advice here. Gold graded American Eagles here. You got 1 ounce of gold. I mean, that's actually not awful, but let's take a look at what that equates to. You got a 1 ounce gold eagle, and that plastic holder is costing you what? Let's take a look. Let me see what the current gold price is. 1802. That is actually, give me 1 second here. 1802, and where did I put that page at? There we go, graded. So that's roughly 1802, man, that's almost 200 bucks over. Let's do the exact math. And they say as low as, all right, let me do this real quick. As low as, let's see what their price is. They don't add to cart. Let's see if, oh gosh, one of you guys show me how to do this without having to go to checkout. Let me see what the price is on that thing. One is 1994, as low as, okay. Don't mean to repeat myself. 1,994 subtract 1,802. Oh boy, I should have used a calculator. Someone yelled at me for not using a calculator before. Let me try this one more time. 1,994 subtract 1,802. $192. All right, so a regular gold eagle, 2022 Gold Eagle should run you about anywhere from $100 to $117 over the spot gold price. This is virtually almost $100 more. What did I say it was? Yeah, almost $100 more for a certified gold coin. Not quite that much. Oh, doggone it. I just forgot the amount here. And I'm talking to Siri at the same time. I'm going to put a calculator next time. You're going to say 1994 subtract 1802. Yeah, 192. Yeah, almost $100 premium. Let's just say an $80 premium. You're paying $80 for that piece of plastic. Why would you do that? What is the difference between an MS-70 and an MS-68 Gold Eagle? Nothing, folks. I'm telling you. In fact, I kind of think that the whole grading thing, when it comes, in my opinion, The idea that someone can tell, and I've been doing this since 1977. I'm a second generation rare coin dealer. My grading skills are pretty damn good. And I tell you, the idea that these people can tell the difference between an MS-70 and an MS-69 at a reasonable amount of time and pump them out for the price they do, I don't know. I kind of doubt that whole thing anyway. But no less, you're going to spend an extra $80 for some plastic. Does that make any sense? You're not going to get a dime of that back. You know the guy that bought the regular Gold Eagle without this plastic holder around it? And again, I'm not going to trash certification services, okay? They have their place, and I'm going to tell you where they have their place in a moment. But for bullion products, if you're paying a dime extra for a plastic holder, certification holder, you're paying too much. The guy that buys the Gold Eagle for like $100 over, 117 over versus 194 over for this thing, again, you're paying $80 extra. First off, Gold Eagles are too much money anyway. Now you're going to pay an extra $80 for a piece of plastic. Not a smart move. You're better off just buying the Gold Eagle from a reliable person and then putting 3 ounces of silver in your pocket on top of it. So certified gold coins when it comes to Gold Eagles, any of this stuff, modern stuff especially, bullion coins, you don't need bullion coins and certified holders, period, unless they're extremely tough dates or rare dates. Don't get caught up in that MS-70, MS-69, MS-68 nonsense when it comes to bullion coins. I'm telling you folks, overpriced, not good deals, and I'm talking from, this is a guy that knows this stuff. I'm telling you, you don't want to buy this stuff. If you're a bullion dealer, if you're a bullion buyer and you're buying for the sake of buying gold and silver as a hedge or potential wealth preservation, stay the hell away from certified bullion coins. They're not worth it. Here's another product that I see put out there quite often. Again, this is casting no aspersions or no problems with SD. They're just putting the product out there. They have better products. I mean, you're better off sticking with generic 1 ounce, 10 ounce, and 100 ounce bars. Krugerrands and bars right now. I'm talking about gold. The better deal than these, especially than these, and even better, just don't buy these holders, folks. Trust me, stay away from that stuff unless you can get it for free. If you can buy the American Eagles with that holder for the same price as without the holder, or maybe a couple dollars more if you like the holders, that's fine. But spending an extra $80 on top of your bullion purchase to have someone tell you some nonsense grade MS-70 on a bullion coin, bad, not good. And don't let anyone talk you into it. Here's another thing that I see. Some of the talking heads out there talk about gold confiscation, all right? So they try to get you to buy what they call pre-33 U.S. gold coins, and it's bullshit, more bullshit. You're being suckered in to buying certified U.S. gold coins under the guise that your gold coins might get confiscated unless you buy U.S. collectible. That's such bullshit. Anyone that tells you that you need to buy pre-1933 U.S. gold coins because they might get confiscated. I mean, listen, any talking YouTuber, talking head out on YouTube, anyone that writes newsletters, anyone out there, I will have a debate one-on-one. Call me. I'll do my first debate online. I'll do my first debate, Zoom, however you want to do it. All right. I'll do my first debate with anyone that can make the case that, yeah, you need to buy pre-33 gold, otherwise your coins will get confiscated. And I'll tell you why that's such BS, because I don't think anyone will ever challenge me on that. They're only out there to sell you pre-33 U.S. gold coins because of premium. And I'm not talking about J.M. Bullion. J.M. Bullion offers all kinds of stuff. Again, not casting any aspersions on them, all right? But the hype that you need to buy collectible or pre-33 gold coins because the government will confiscate them because they confiscated bullion. That is a bullshit trope that was created by a telemarketing company, and I forget which one it was, back in the 80s, or maybe it was in the 90s, where they would have, and I saw the script that salesman, a new salesman was supposed to read. Well, we recommend that you buy the numismatic items because the government can't confiscate them. Of course, in 1933, Roosevelt, blah, blah, blah. People could keep collectible coins, but they couldn't keep their bullion, blah, blah, blah. It was a bullshit. It's just nonsense, folks. Trust me. You don't want to buy these. They're overpriced. I love them. They're beautiful. If you're a collector or you want to own one, great. But don't buy them believing that the government might confiscate them and they're safer than other coins. And the fact is, the premiums on these are just ridiculous. Let's take a look at Let's see what a premium on a $10 gold Indian is right now. Again, they're beautiful coins, but as a stacker, if you're doing wealth preservation, you're buying gold, you do not want to buy this stuff. It's overpriced. If you're a collector, that's a whole different story. You got to define yourself. Are you collecting? You becoming a coin collector, or are you stacking gold and silver for wealth preservation? If you're a coin collector, it's fine to own a couple of these or one of each as an example. That's what most coin collectors would do. They wouldn't buy a bunch of them unless they were super cheap, and they're not cheap. Let me do the math on these. 1,802 times 0.9675 divided by 2. They melt for $871 each. How many do you got there? Give me 1 second. 8 times 871. $7,000. Now, granted, they say there might be some better dates there. I'm not quite sure, but there's $7,000 worth of bullion there. As far as pre-23 $20 gold pieces, look at that, $8,000 in AU condition. Let me take a look and let you know what. I just did that actually. 1802 times 0.9675. And 1743 times 4, 6,972. That's how much you have in gold value. So you're paying $69.70. You're paying almost $1,000 premium for those 4 items. That's $250 per coin over the melt gold price for some circulated gold coins, folks. That's not a good deal. Again, if you could buy $20 gold pieces, circulated conditions, for like $100, maybe $100 over the melt price, not the gold price, the melt price, that wouldn't be a bad deal. But these are $250 over, and you'd be surprised at how many people get suckered into buying this kind of stuff and this kind of stuff. Again, under the bullshit reason that they might get their coins confiscated, so you need to buy these higher priced items. And the reason that those telemarketing companies had that whole script is because on collectibles, telemarketers are allowed to charge up to 20%. I believe that legally they can make a 20% profit, of the salesman. So a salesman can make 20% on these, as opposed to a gold eagle, which he might make 1% on. What do you think they're going to want to sell? They can't run a company just selling gold eagles. So at the time, they were pushing their salesmen to hype people into U.S. gold coins under the bullshit guise that they were going to be confiscated. They scared people into buying overpriced nonsense. Again, not JM. JM just offers this stuff, but in my opinion, folks, stay away from this stuff like the plague. Again, unless the premiums were substantially lower, stick with Krugerrands and those type of products, gold bars. There's no good reason for anyone out there to buy pre-33 gold unless you can buy it as reasonably as you could buy a Krugerrand, okay? Other than that, it's overpriced. And again, I'm a rare coin dealer, okay? I'm not dissing these things. I'm just telling you what the best deal is out there. That's what I can do for you, unlike other people. Talking about Bitcoin, I didn't even look at the price earlier. I got my chart a little bit out of whack here. I'm pretty much done with pre-33 U.S. gold coins and certified bullion, stuff like this. If you got any questions or you disagree with me, definitely put it in the comments section. And if you know anybody that wants to debate me on why 1933, pre-33 gold is such a great deal, or it should be bought because it can get confiscated. Anybody that holds that view or is pushing that type of product, I love to debate them face to face, wherever. Okay, so put it in the comments section if you know anybody that wants to take me on. Again, 2 great companies I advertise to beat: JM and APMEX and SD Bullion. I recommend that. I'm a local dealer, and I always recommend that. Don't send that money out of town. They're good companies, trust me. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. They're big, they're huge. You don't get the personal service like you would from a local store. And again, keeping that money local is a big thing. And as I tell you, I also advertise to beat those guys. It's pretty easy to do. Easy for me to do. I have good product availability. If you live in South Florida, come and see me for sure. If you don't live in South Florida, again, find yourself a good local dealer. Try to keep that money local. Zero hedge, I saw this here. Really don't have time to read it right now, but one of the good articles I like to read by VBL and ZH. Factors point to gold at $21.50 in 12 months. I believe that, but I thought that last year. And here, let me explain something here. Vince goes on down here. Where is he? Here, let me go down here. I think his name is Vince. He does some good videos. I like his stuff, and he's very technical driven. But as I point out, I think these technically driven guys that follow charts and use charts can be misled. How can they be misled? Chart guy, forgive me, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you want to manipulate a market and you know that there's chartists that trade based on charts, why wouldn't you want to go in and manipulate the charts? How would you do that? You would manipulate the data. So if chartists are using manipulated data as their guideline, how can they truly say that markets, what they're seeing is genuine, okay? Again, I went into that a couple days on my video here a little while ago. I'm not dissing chart guys, I'm just saying, are the charts always reliable? Can you trust them? Can you trust the data that it was used to create a chart? So I like Vince. He's very technical. One of the things that I kind of disagree with here, but I'm not quite sure what he's talking about, is that, where is it? And give me 1 second here. Oh, there we go. That sell-off can be attributed, the sell-off we had last week, Vince says, can be attributed to a Fed meeting coming in with very hawkish rates, as well as February futures contract rollover. I believe he's correct about the February futures contract rollover. However, and again, that involves the large shorts positions, commercial shorts that manipulate the gold and silver markets. I don't know if Vince talks about that much. I don't think he does. I'd like to see VBL talk more about that. Also, VBL says that he believes that last year, and one of the reasons that gold was down was because of, give me 1 second here. They explained they were less than accurate for gold in 2021. They remind us that gold was hurt by strong, here we go. In 2021, they remind us that gold was hurt by strong U.S. markets with weak EMs. We agree, VBL agrees, but it was mostly, in our view, Bitcoin siphoning off investor flows. Well, here's where I disagree with VBL and I disagree with Goldman. First, the reason that gold and silver probably went down last year is, think about it. According to Ted Butler, JP Morgan sold Goldman $800 million in a derivative of silver physical, which 800 million ounces of silver physical to BOFA last year in 2021, and BOFA laid that off into the market. I don't know if they did it at once, or they probably not, but they did it over the course of time. And the same thing with gold. Is there any freaking wonder that prices of gold and silver would have been depressed when JP sold BOFA 800 million ounces of silver, which is a year's worth of mine supply, dumps it out on the market in 2021. Guess who bought it back? JP, through one of their other arms or something like that. Tell me that ain't freaking evil genius. But no less, I don't see BBL talking about that. And of course, Goldman would not talk about that. Goldman says last year's gold and silver was hurt by strong markets. That's bullshit. It was hurt by BOFA unleashing that much silver into the market, or JP unleashing that. Manipulation, folks. That's why gold and silver was down last year. And again, I'd like to see VBL talk more about that. I'd like to see VBL, this guy that writes this article, start reading more about Ted Butler and subscribe to his newsletter. I think he'd learn a lot. Again, he's a great technical guy. I like reading his stuff. So this is not a slight on him at all. As far as Goldman goes, I don't know. Let's take a look at here. So I have to agree with VBL here, 2150 in 12 months. Really good article. I like his technical stuff. Where I disagree is that he feels that the markets were pushed down last year because of what Goldman says, and on top of what he says at Bitcoin. Sorry, VBL. As far as Bitcoin, yeah, it might have taken some money away from gold, but I don't think so. I think that the money went into Bitcoin wouldn't have come to gold even if the Bitcoin didn't exist to some degree. So I'd love to talk with VBL one day. Actually, he's one of the guys I'd like to talk with on my videos. Well, anyways, I think we're going to move into yesterday's video. Oh, excuse me. Choking on my own words here. One sec, quick sip of coffee here. I should have on hold music when I'm taking a sip of coffee here. I'm running for office yesterday. Got that video out so late, man. I had some interviews to do for office. I'm running for a city council here in town. Nothing big. I mean, when I say nothing big, I mean I'm not running for president or be a senator or anything like that. I'm running to this community has been very good for me. And if you watch my videos every morning, I say, I love Lauderdale by the Sea, and I do. I love this community, so I don't mind giving back to it. And I'm pretty good with that kind of stuff, watching budgets and keeping budgets and helping people out. So I think it'll be a good fit for me and a good fit for the community. Let's see what happens. So I'm running for office, and we went over some basic stuff yesterday. I'd like to thank all of you folks that support me here. Not too many questions. Again, yesterday's video was really short, but again, thank you very much. And Russell King says Albert Einstein once said mediocrity is the hobgoblin of little minds. Once you get into politics with a brilliant idea, you aren't likely to get it across because someone else thinks they are a leader when they're actually controlling types. They will do anything with their friends to keep your idea out until it comes to crisis. Yeah, it's small politics. I'm hoping that it's not so, well, maybe small politics maybe is petty, but I'm hoping it's not. Thanks for the comments, Russell. And City Commission, what we do about frozen iguanas falling out of the trees. We'll have a barbecue once a week. That's what us Floridians do. Barbecued iguana. Hey, thanks for watching, Celeste. I appreciate it. And all you folks, thank you for your encouragement for me running for city council here. I really appreciate that. Town council. I keep calling it a city. It's kind of not a city, but it's like a town. It's a very small little community. I like it. Well, that's it, man. I have to encourage you. This is my theme for the year. Yeah, you're going to see it almost every video for the next year. Maybe I'll lay off a little bit, but until I can kind of drive this home to the new folks. Think for yourself, folks, and always question authority. Question me, question yourself, question everyone around you. Is that narrative in your head yours, or did someone else create it for you? If someone else created it for you, good time to question it. Hope that didn't sound complicated. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in lovely Lauderdale by the Sea. If you live in my area, call me anytime at 954-493-8811 between the hours of 10 and 4, Mondays through Fridays. If you don't, really, please, I encourage you to find a good local dealer, even if you have to drive an hour or two outside your area to find it. There's a lot of good reasons you want to do that. Well, that's it. I will talk to you tomorrow, and have yourself a great day. Thanks.